Hi friends, and welcome to a special edition of Brick House Bones, where we're going to go over what to do if squatting is painful on your knees. I'm going to break it down to start with some of the simplest movements you can begin to do to try to make squatting more comfortable and build some strength. And then we'll look at different variations you can do to make those positions more tolerable so that you can still be able to do functional activities that you need to do, like getting out of any chair in public or at your home, on and off the toilet, in and out of the car, and having the confidence in your knees to be able to do those movements. So here's some options to try. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Lisa. I'm a physical therapist that specializes in working with older adults, especially individuals with osteoporosis. And that's my Brick House Bones program, is the evidence-based strategies for working with bone health and preventing falls and fractures. So today we're looking at knees because we do squatting in our everyday functional activities, and we do squatting as part of our strength and exercise program because we know how functional it is. But sometimes knees don't like to squat. So one of the first places I start with clients is just to begin to get load tolerance on each knee without much bending or moving. So that can look like this. Hands on my hips, sitting up nice and tall. I shift my weight to one leg, slightly bend it, absorb the load, just hold that position, and then step back. Shift my weight to the other leg, take the load through that leg, feel the tension in the thigh come up, and push back. So we're taking our time, building that load tolerance. And that's what this is all about. It's not that your joint is way too unhealthy to do it. It's just we have to build the tolerance for it to begin again, and we have to find that safe zone where it begins to gain confidence and you gain confidence in the ability of your knee to support you. So starting with these side to side lateral movements, I would do 8 to 10 repetitions per side. And if that feels just fine to your body, you don't have any strain, try to do 2 to 3 rounds of that per day until that begins to get stronger. From that side to side direction, then we can move forward and back. And the other direction. This is just taking a step and deliberately putting your weight and intention on that front leg and then pushing back. Taking your time. We're not in a rush. We're building that strength to hold the load through a slightly bent knee. So repeat that forward step, load and weight bearing, 8 to 10 repetitions per side, 2 or 3 times around. So combine that with the side to side one and see if after a couple, 3 weeks, you don't start to feel more confident and more secure in your ability to support your weight on each leg. Now, next up, I take clients to the wall, and we'll start to push back against the wall and do a small squat to whatever depth feels safe to you, keeping the back and the head and the shoulders up against the wall. And we do this isometric hold. So we're holding this position, trying to keep weight even on both legs, 10 to 20 seconds, and then come up. Now, it would be wonderful if you could build up to 30 to 45 seconds. And here's why I say this. We know that holding these long isometric holds, as long as the knee is not unhappy about it, is really good for building strength and resiliency through the tendon in your knee, your patellar tendon. So isometric holds build strength in the tendon, and they have sort of a natural way working through the spinal cord to reduce pain. So your goal here when I'm working with clients is to build up to 45 seconds, 30 to 45 second holds, as deep as they feel safe going as you get stronger. And this is happening over multiple sessions. As you get stronger, your squats get deeper. Those feet need to come out. So we're keeping the knee over the ankle. So the feet come out and we begin. Again, this comes over many, many sessions of building this strength in this position. So start with a very shallow squat. Start with 10 to 20 seconds. Do that 5 times. Once that becomes easier, take it 20 to 30 seconds. Do that 5 times. And once that's easy, at your next session, begin to shoot for those 45 seconds. Even if only one round is 45 seconds, begin to gradually work into that. Once that gets better, gradually lower to the depth that you can do a little bit more. You might have to back off and take the time shorter and go back to 10 to 20 seconds as you go deeper. That's fine. You're gaining strength through a new range of motion. Just know that this is a process, but if you work at it, you will see change in adaptation. So this is really powerful when you begin to see your legs get stronger. So from there, we go to an elevated box. And so we do sit to stand. So instead of just doing, I'm an example of a body weight squat, instead of doing that, we start with an elevated surface. And this box that I have, so it's 20 inches here. It's 18 inches at this height and 16 inches at this height. So it's not a perfect cube. It has 2-inch differences on each side, which allows me a lot of flexibility in working with my clients. So we do a sit to stand. And a sit to stand, we get you seated in a good position, try to do no hands, working on pressing through the feet and coming back up. Now, if that's still too difficult and my client is having pain, we have 2 options to work with there. So again, we're starting with no load. We don't need to do any load beyond body weight until we can do this position more comfortably. So if it's the right knee that's painful, but the left knee is not, I'll modify this by moving the right knee slightly forward. So just a slight forward position. It's maybe half the distance of my foot at the most. This means the left leg is going to do most of the work, but the right leg is still going to do some of it, and it may not be as sensitive. So we're coming up and down. So that may be one modification that you can do that makes your ability to do a squat reasonable, and you can still participate in those exercises without your knee being irritated. As you get stronger, you need to gradually tuck that knee or that foot a little bit closer into better position. And that means this leg will start to get more and more of the load, and it will even out from leg to leg. So one modification is to move the involved side or the sore knee forward. Now, if they're both sore, or we want to try another modification, it's again to raise the seat. So I tell people, especially at home when they're working on this, raise the seat as high as you need to get it in order to be able to do this without sharp pain, without that pain that tells you, I know this is going to be worse. There may be a little discomfort, but it feels tolerable and reasonable to you that you can do the exercise and build strength. That's what we're shooting for. But I often can get folks elevated enough that they can do the movement without pain. And I've had many clients come in that say, Lisa, I can't do squats. I've tried to do squats and it always irritates my knee. But when we follow this protocol of building in that tolerance, of finding the position where we shorten the range of motion, that's what we do when we elevate the seat, or we shorten the range of motion by letting that foot go forward, and we practice it consistently, eventually the knee gets stronger and it feels better. And they all come back and tell me, wow, now I'm squatting. It's not painful. My leg feels much better. Stairs are much easier. And so that's where we start. We elevate the seat up. You work through your 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps at body weight. When you're able to do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps at body weight, you have 2 options. One option is to add weight. So you can increase your strength by adding weight if you don't want to go deeper in the range of motion. Option number 2 is let's work into more full range of motion. So you remove the height, so 2 inches lower now, and then we repeat that process. On your next exercise session, you're going to work through 3 sets of 10 to 12 at the new height. And you'll do that for at least 2 weeks at the new height before you lower it a little bit more. I go about 2 inches at a time. It's what I do here in the clinic. And so you gradually get a little lower until you are confident getting off of all the surfaces that you need to get up and down from in your home and in public. This takes a little bit of time and a little bit of consistency, but it works. So let me know what you think. Let me know which strategy you're going to try first. whether it's just working with the weight shifting and beginning that load tolerance, starting with a higher seat, or putting that foot out front. Let me know what you're going to try, and then get back to me after you've worked on these and tell me how it worked. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, if you're interested in exercises for older adults and people with osteoporosis for preventing falls and fractures, keeping a big, bold, brave life that keeps us independent through the lifespan, then please subscribe to my channel. I would sure appreciate having you. Thank you for watching.